It's Billy with Raw Shots Photography. I just want to do a quick video, kind of run you through the steps, the processes I take when editing a corporate headshot, or these same tips apply for any other portrait you're going to do. It's typically a lot easier and simpler to do these type of these corporate headshots are pretty quick, easy. It's an easy way to make money. Very little work, and at the end of the day, you can charge a fair rate for them. All right, so let's get in here. The first thing I usually do is I'm going to want to adjust my white balance just a little bit. You can pick the selector here, and you can pick something neutral colored. You can go with the white or the gray. See what you like. Me personally, I typically kind of, I don't know, I kind of do it myself here by feel. I feel like it's much better. And what I'm looking at when I'm doing this is the background here, as well as his white shirt. I want to try to get that background, the color that I want, which is, I don't want any green or magenta tones in there, and I want to make sure that the shirt stays white. So that's kind of where I start with the color balance. And then from there, I typically go ahead and throw in my contrast because I know I'm going to do that, and then from there I'll typically start trying to adjust my exposure a little bit. Some people might do it the other way, but I don't. So I'm going to crank my highlights down here. I don't want to turn the skin tone, bump up the shadows just a little bit, and probably pull down the blacks just a touch. With men, it's okay to use a little bit on the clarity slider. You kind of want a little bit of sharp edge to them. A lot of times when I'm doing portraits, I stay zoomed in quite a bit. I'm gonna pull this back just a little bit. Go to 2. Especially when I'm doing headshots. He's got a bit of a tan color here, and that's probably going to play havoc in a little while, but we'll worry about that when we get there. It also helps sometimes if you're doing the white balance. If you're zoomed in on the face, a lot of times it kind of helps you as well. You can see the background and their skin tones, and get the shirt in here too, so you can kind of see it all. So that looks pretty good. Keep an eye on the histogram here. I'm gonna bump it up just a little bit on the exposure. The background looks a little blue. Bump that up just a little bit there. Now basically from here, I'm going to go ahead and do my sharpening. I have a preset general sharpening tab, and I usually bump it just a touch from there, and then you basically click and hold on the masking key, and then hold the option key on a Mac keyboard, and then you can kind of adjust where the sharpening is. I probably usually go about there, sharpening the edge detail and pushing everything away from their skin tones. So, and now with men, I don't typically like to do a lot of skin correction. You definitely don't want to do any skin softening, things of that nature. But obvious blemishes and things like that, this person's going to use this shot for, a corporate profile. We want to try to make them look their best. So I'm going to get the little healing tool here, and maybe looks like a scar here. We'll get rid of that, and just kind of touch this stuff up. It's like a erroneous hair here. We'll take that out. Get rid of that. The only thing you got to watch when you do this is you have to watch where this is going, because sometimes you can introduce weird artifacts, or the actual, selector in the heel will try to find something else similar, and it'll end up pulling something in there that you don't want. Sometimes it helps if you keep your feather turned up just a little bit. It'll kind of help blend that stuff in. This looks like a shadow, an unwanted shadow. it's basically just showing a wrinkle there or a scar. So we're going to take this out as well. Get rid of that. Make sure that it doesn't look funky from where the selector picks. And then that's it. You know, we're just going to kind of keep moving around. You can hold the space bar down and bring up your hand so you can, you know, slide the picture around here and just keep touching up all this little stuff. You know, this part gets a little time consuming to kind of go through and pick this stuff out, but it definitely makes a huge difference at the end. You know, these little things don't seem like they'll stand out from that far away. Even these little white spots here, some of that looks like probably lint, or I don't know, could be lunch. Not real sure, but we're gonna get rid of it and get rid of this. Just keep going. I'll probably just do a couple more and then I'll stop. I would normally just keep going, but for time's sake here, I'll probably just touch up a couple more. I mean, I would really just keep doing this nitpicking until I got it where I wanted it and got kind of all these random little things out of the way, little gray hairs, all these type of things. You know, you just clear that. I mean, you could easily come in here with a brush and try to soften skin, but for men, it doesn't look right. You don't technically want to soften men's skin. We're supposed to look a little rough and rugged. Zoom out. I go. One more thing that I normally check is clothing, and you know, not in an aggressive manner, but sometimes the weird artifacts show up on clothing. You know, could be a big, you know, piece of lint or something random that could show up. And we don't want that. So there's a hair here. I don't know if you might not need to get that detail, but since I saw it, I'll take it out. Okay, so we got that. If you want to see like a before and after, you can turn it off. You can see and turn it back on. We'll go down from there. If you want to look at what we've done so far, we kind of started there, bland, which is typical for a raw file. Punched it up a little bit. Did some cleaning up. Things are looking good. I want to go in now and basically touch up the eyes. Same kind of thing. And I use the same tool here. There's a preset for the iris. I use that. I don't really tweak it much. It just bumps up the clarity, a little bit of exposure and saturation. And I take the brush tool in here. You know, you can adjust the size, obviously, while you go. But I feather all the way up, flow all the way up, and then just paint this in here. Same thing on this side. Paint that in there. And then once I'm done with that, you can turn that off and on. Not much, just a little bit of a tone there. The bigger difference will come here. We're gonna hit new. We go right here. We go to teeth whitening. I use the teeth whitener in the eye, and I use it for this white part here. I go right in here like this. To me, I mean, it's pretty close. I always tweak it afterwards too, but the teeth whitener works great for this. You don't have to worry about checking it. If you want to make sure you're not overlaying anything, you know, you can always check where you make them look evil there. So that looks good. Sometimes I bump it down just a little bit. If I think it's too much white, I'll come down to about 32 there. And then we can go right down here to the teeth, because that's the brush we have, and right across. Same thing, same settings, just right across the teeth here. We're gonna make them look like it just came back fresh from the dentist. If you go over something out of the way, don't really worry about it. We can go back and erase it once we're done. I would normally be a little more detailed when I'm in here. You'll make sure you get the bottom teeth there in the shot too, even though they're hard to see in there. You basically wanted to make sure you hit all that for consistency. I went a little over there, so we want to erase. When I went a little over right here, so we'll go right, just right along the edge. Get rid of that, and I went over right here and get that out of there. All right. Now that's done. Now, I'm pretty happy with this. And with men, what I do a lot of times is I'll go to the luminance slider, and I'm gonna push the red up just a little bit, because men tend to have a lot of red tone in their skins. This guy just came back from Jamaica here, so he's got a little bit of a tan, maybe just a touch in the orange. And really what that does and what it's gonna do is just kind of help the skin not look so bright red. You can see there's the before and there's the after on that. Just brighten it up just a touch, and maybe just a touch more on the shadow. Pull down on this just a bit. I'm just tweaking again. You know, it's once you kind of get it dialed in, then you're good. So I would probably call that good for what I would do. Like I said, I probably would have spent a little more time touching up some of the imperfections on his face there, but for time's sake on the video, that's kind of where I leave it. If I wanted to make this a black and white, which is what I had it originally, the only difference I do with black and whites, I don't just hit the selector there. I bring back highlights, and I'm going to pump the whites and pump the exposure, and increase the blacks, because that's what a good black and white. Black and whites are supposed to be black and white, so I bump those up some more, kind of make it just a touch, you know, a little more punchy, if you will, with the highlights, without losing some of that fine detail in the skin texture. I just noticed one thing here. This is a projector screen I shot this on. I'm looking right here and I can see a little flat mark, so I'm going to take care of that, and I'll probably go back to the other one and do it as well. But we're just going to bring the exposure down. Let me go to the exposure tool. It's set down at 3, that's fine. And I'm going to blow my tool up kind of big, leave most of it off here, and just kind of like brush over that, and that eliminates that, kind of fades everything in, matches what's going on, and fixes that. So, all right, there it is. There's the black and white version, and let's see if we can go back here to the color version. And same thing, we'll see that right there. I'm gonna go back to that brush tool. Just figure I'll show you here. Go a little small on the color because it's gonna be a little more noticeable. It's up and off, perfect. Kind of blends right in with that border there. Done with that, and there we go. All right, if you guys like these videos, I should be doing a few more different styles. I got some gear to review coming up soon, so keep an eye out. Thanks for watching. Bye. Subscribe.